Please don't remember. It's great to be on your... It's great to be on your screen once again this morning. No, you make it seem as if I'm not the serious one. Meanwhile, I am. Welcome to Jasiri, guys, where we bring you... Yes, I am. All the latest tea happening in the country. This is that table where we hold conversations. Insightful, outsightful, insightful, side-sightful, everything sightful on the issues that matter to us as individuals and as a community. Sometimes we spice things up with trending topics from
just let them see, it's fine.
Media. Just in case you're watching
live TV.
What's even Jasiri?
We have Coco with us this morning.
God.
Let's go to the wide. It's fine. This is part of live TV. They don't want to show. I shrunk.
Ladies and gentlemen, Coco in the house.
Coco in the building. It's okay. Because Catherine is struggling.
Do you know how wonderful it feels to tower above you?
She's looking up to you. Wow. And you're looking down on her.
This is such a great day.
This woman cannot be serious today.
Happened? I saw you struggling from the side of my eyes.
I apologize to the production team. It's me that caused it.
What happened?
Because I felt like I was a little too high, so I just wanted to come down a bit. Then I just completely... Anyway, they said she stoops to conquer, so it's no problem. I'm stooping to conquer. It's fine. Catherine, you can continue now. They needed to know why.
Yes.
Yeah.
As we stoop to conquer, let's take you through what Jasiri means, because everybody says, what is even Jasiri? Jasiri, Jasiri, Jasiri. Jasiri is a Swahili word that means bold, courageous, or brave. This name holds a significant place in African history and African culture. Historically, it's often been given to individuals who've displayed remarkable bravery, resilience, and fearlessness. Now, you can see why we chose the name, because it represents every single one of the ladies sitting on this table, this award-winning table. It also represents a brand here at News Central, where we are all about Africa first.
Now, speaking of insightful conversations, for the last 10 months or so, we've brought different guests on our talk show to talk on different topics, from trends to hot topics, the state of the nation, our health sector, the economy, education, women's representation, and much more. You name it, we've talked about it with different guests, experts, analysts, and in many situations, people who are living and breathing those situations. So today, we thought we would reintroduce ourselves, just in case you may have forgotten a bit or you need a reminder on why we are an award-winning show, award-winning presenters, and Jasiri is definitely one thing that you're talking about less than a year of us taking off.
Your name.
My name. I like how I say my name. My name is Tolulope Adeleru Balogun, and I'm a fantastic award-winning broadcast journalist, media consultant, trainer, and I moderate global conversations for a living. So that when I'm not shrinking.
My head is swelling. It's not even my introduction. Well, my name is Blessings Mosugu, a news anchor, award-winning broadcast journalist, events compare, voiceover artist, and just so you know, I'm also an excellent singer and a world-class fashion designer.
Okay, I'm waiting for my introduction because they're writing your profile, okay? My name goes with that explanation. I am Omotunde Adeboale David. Well, many of you know and love me as Lola One of Africa. I'm a lawyer by training, a radio and TV host, an actor, entrepreneur, a brand manager, and now I've added podcaster to my resume.
No, you guys didn't do this.
We did. I didn't do it, Peculiar did it.
Yeah.
Hi, Peculiar. My name is Catherine Obiang. Dando yeni bibi
Oh, Jesus.
Cross River State. Au même temps, je suis camerounaise, je parle français. Et là où je suis là, j'ai tout fait dans ce milieu. Et à part de faire les choses sur la télé, je fais les choses sur la radio aussi. Et parfois, je suis acteur sur les choses qui parlent de nos problèmes comme Africains et tout ça là. Donc,
Okay, it's okay. Translate now.
She's a
Yeah, I heard actor.
Translate.
All shades of media, media.
Please, Peculiar, the next time you wrote,
Yes.
please put producer, filmmaker. Add that.
No, but I'm serious. It is an honor. I
Clap
always
for
say.
Catherine.
It's an honor to be on this table with phenomenal women because sometimes, or most times, we draw from one another's strength. And that's what we have going for us on this table, whether or dance, whether you like it. We're like Mask. Mask, that cartoon Mask. No, Blessings will not know Mask.
No, she can't. What I think of a lot of the times, especially when we won, was Whitney Houston's Every
I
Woman.
can't stop laughing. I'm sorry.
I'll have to be like this so we go on a break. But anyway, what I remember is Whitney Houston's Every Woman, because I think on this table, we represent the married, varied, and complex characters, dynamics, experiences, of different women from across, be it Nigeria, be it the African continent, be it around the world. There are experiences here somehow that touch on every aspect of a woman's life, on different women's experiences. And I think that's the representation that we give the most and the best right here on Jasiri.
I just like the way Tolu says it. It's just so bougie, like, you know, the experience of the multitude
Before Tolu came in and before Blessings came
We
in.
were trying to speak
My
American.
sister.
Yes,
An American
I should have
accent.
been here.
Yes.
Oh, of course I know.
But do you want to tell them what else you were talking about?
No. We, look at that.
You guys did not see it, but one of our cameramen just said, no.
It was
You really?
Okay, let's continue the show. So today we are your hosts and we are your guests. We ourselves will be talking on all the topics we have lined up for you from professional and personal viewpoints, and that's not all. Today, once again, we are opening our phone lines to you to join the conversations, share your personal opinions, your experiences, and ask whatever questions you have once we return from the break. But please, we need to go on the break because I need to elevate. So please, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we get into our conversation. Stay with us.
Well, we're back from the break. Tolu has conquered and now she's elevated. And she mentions asking questions. And speaking of asking whatever questions you have. So I'm not married. I mean, the producers think I never will because that's how intractable they think I am. But anyways, I saw this post and it was so hilarious to me. But I wanted to ask my big sisters here what advice they have for this woman who knows that she could be watching our show right now. So at RemZSX is asking people to help her judge the matter she has found herself in. Her friend is currently staying with her because of a misunderstanding she had with her husband. That's the friend. And his brother that resulted in her husband asking her to move out of their matrimonial home. Now, this friend wants to ask her to go back to her husband's house because she doesn't want her friend's husband or her own fiancé to think that she's badly behaved and supporting bad character. We're going to take the story, but
Let me give you guys the details. Great details. So apparently, according to her, her husband's brother lives with them, and he came to stay with them during the break, and he's in university. So one day he went to dish food for himself, and her friend got angry and slapped the brother. She took the food. She said he took the food without permission from her pot. The boy stopped eating in the house to avoid any further embarrassment, and the brother noticed that things are not the same. He's asking him what happened, why. The brother didn't say anything, but the guy asked his nanny, and the nanny narrated everything that happened. Because even when he asked his wife, the wife said, go and ask your brother. Then let's not forget, the wife is actually a full-time housewife. The husband provides everything down to airtime for her. So the husband felt disrespected, and he said that she should apologize. But the friend says she cannot apologize to her brother-in-law because she's staying in her husband's house. Next thing, the husband's brother has left the house without telling anybody. Now, the husband has realized that and said that the friend should also leave the house because she cannot accommodate his family, and he treats her family well. And apparently, this is what the wife herself has said. Now, in the middle of this argument, the wife picked up a few clothes and then left to her house, but she doesn't want to accommodate her, but she couldn't send her away again. This is a woman who's financially entirely dependent on the husband. Where would she have gone? How would she have gone? So she's been with them for 5 days. The husband has not called, and now this woman is worried that even her own fiance will start to think that this is the kind of bad behavior she may exhibit, or that she is in support of this. She doesn't want the friend to lose her marriage, and she also says, what happens if she refuses to go? What should she... Wait, first of all, how would she refuse to leave your house? What are you saying? Okay, but I've done with the details.
Anyway, sometimes some women, honestly, when we start to scream this our women liberation thing, there are some things that you do that is totally unreasonable. I do not think slapping your brother-in-law was a good call. even if he did take your food from your pot, there are many ways you could have shown your distaste for it or spoken to your husband and you'd have reined him in. And I think the guy is really well behaved because he didn't even
But was it
make
even-
an issue of it.
Yeah.
He just quietly left her pot alone and, moved out of the house for further embarrassment. What else could he have done to show respect? And she on her own, you just carried your bag and baggages. I just left your husband's house by your own self. Baby girl, please stay a while longer. There are so many.
In another person's house.
No, that one will kick her out. So she'll go further away,
Must stay
and
somewhere
then
else.
some very demure, intentional, and mindful chick will take over.
Demure, that's the word.
Yeah, I don't
mirror.
know. First of all, if I'm the friend who opened the doors to the wife who's left her husband, I would say probably you came to my place at night
Yeah.
and say, okay, stay the night. You see, the next day,
See?
I myself will take you back
Yeah.
to your
Yes,
husband's
to your
house
husband's house.
Or I'll
And I
give you
will-
money to go home.
Yes.
To go home, yeah.
and say, go there, have a
And sort yourself
conversation,
out.
stop behaving like a spoiled brat, because that's how you're behaving. Tolu said something that just made me shift totally. I was at first leaning towards, but when Tolu said her husband treats her family well,
Well,
and she has acknowledged that. My sister, what is so hard in you reciprocating that
Apologizing.
kindness to his family members? They didn't come there to live with you forever. And if it's an Igbo man, my sister, he will not come after you.
So two things. The first one is people might see me as unkind, but the truth is because of my past experiences, I'm not letting anybody inside my house until I know the full story. I will not. I'm sorry because I don't know what happened between both of you. I don't want your husband coming to my house in the middle of the night and harassing me that I'm keeping his wife and all that. That's assuming that something even happened between both of them. So I don't want that. I would not allow that. Highest I'll do, I'll give you money, go to a hotel, or I would even book a hotel for you. You're not entering my house. That's one. Then secondly, yes, I don't know. I'm not married, but where do we draw the line? Because you will hear some people say, oh, my brother's wife is the one dishing food for me. That's so disrespectful. I can't take food from the pot. And then now you take food from the pot is disrespectful. I don't know where...
and
So it's
every home.
That's what I was going to.
Every
One, there are
home.
cultural dynamics,
Yes.
and then there are family dynamics within the cultural dynamics. It really depends. My sister-in-law can come, and I come home and she has cooked and she has served everybody, and I'm fine. But there are other members of my family, or maybe my husband's extended family, that haven't earned that right. And I think it's a conversation couples need to have. We had that conversation very early on. Anybody, don't come and visit us 2 weeks and be gone. And we're very lucky. I think both of us are lucky on both sides with the type of in-laws we have on each side. We've never had issues. So one is a conversation as to what is going to be your relationship with your in-laws from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Two, when they come, how long are they staying? But she said he was only coming for a break. And I think people forget that in marriage, there's sacrifice. Sometimes, I said earlier, you stoop to conquer. It means that sometimes you accept a lot of things up to a very hard boundary so that it gives you and enables you to be able to speak or stand against certain things later on. Him taking food from the pot, you're a housewife. So he buys airtime, which also means that when you need pata, I can never forget it. My mother told me that you will never the man should never be the one to give you money.
As you said
to
that
buy
day,
pata,
for your
to buy underwear,
down to
or even
airtime.
your
I
sanitary
thought of what
wear.
you just said now.
Come on.
Your
And
sanitary
his
wear.
brother comes, you've cooked everything else. She's not complaining about him being messy, about him being disrespectful. He
Exactly.
took food from the pot. You can even joke and be like, "Hey, brother, that's soup. We're keeping it for 3 days." There are ways about it. She handled it wrong, and kicking her out was extreme for me.
Yes.
He should have called maybe a family meeting, and both of them lay it out.
No, but
now these are
slapping
bad
his brother
behaviors.
was extreme.
know his
Both
wife.
slapping the brother and then also kicking
She
her
was
out.
the one that packed her things.
He told her to leave, and she just picked a few things.
Oh no! Sometimes her husband will say something like, "I want you out of my house," and of course he's just watching you.
Those are words that should never come out of your mouth in any kind of conversation because there are certain words you can't take back. Don't tell me you're playing. You'll tell me, "Auntie, get out."
But
And then
now
you tell me you're
that
playing.
so when he says get out, and she did get out,
And she did get out.
so she should stay out.
But
Stay out.
I don't feel it was extreme because I can't imagine. Maybe again,
Exactly.
It's either the husband goes out or we both go out. No, I'm not leaving my house. But imagine a man slapping my sister or my mother. I won't take it well. So I don't think it was extreme.
And he had asked her to apologize.
I think that what gave him the right again was because he provides for everything. So he could easily just get angry and leave the house because maybe they are sharing the money.
He even asked her
which way
politely
none
to
of them was
apologize.
right. The wife, because it's her home,
Yeah.
she could have handled it more maturely.
Surely.
I think she has been indulged to such an extent
think
that
there's
she feels
indulgence.
entitled.
Yeah.
Your husband does everything for you. Your husband get money, so you are sitting as a housewife. Your brother-in-law comes to your pot to take food. What would have taken food to slapping?
And she didn't say extra food. She didn't say extra meat. So probably it was the first time he was going to eat
So
the
you
food.
could have just, like Tolu said, you'd have made a
You would
jest
have
about
stooped
it.
to conquer.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then when your
exactly.
husband comes, there's a way you talk to your guy. You cook his favorite
Excuse
food.
me,
When you are
pillow talk
massaging
is
his
very
leg in the
easy.
night, you have this conversation.
Sorry.
Dear, because they say dear.
Which one is
I don't
dear?
have patience.
I don't
for
like
all that.
dear. You don't have
Dear.
any other sweet names
name.
than dear?
Some
But
like
Sherry?
dear. No.
I don't
Which
have the
is sad.
patience for all of that. Oh, God.
It's fine, it's fine.
But the fabric
we wish
of our-
you the very best. But the auntie that wrote in, she needs to leave your house.
Yeah, leave your
because
house.
also, especially men, they tend to worry a lot about the relationships that their
Yes,
wives keep.
yes.
The
Very
friendships
important.
that their wives keep. And unfortunately, a lot of women in marriages and even in some friendships can be heavily influenced by their friends.
Totally.
Absolutely.
And that's why I know that
Never
even when people
understood
marry and your
that,
friends that are unmarried, sometimes the dynamics of the
rub off
relationship changes. So you
I've never
really need to have
understood
sense.
why you would be heavily influenced by, but that's a
Ah,
conversation.
no,
You know,
it's
there
a
are
conversation for another day. Some people are very chameleonic.
Okay, maybe
That's-
that might be our
Yeah.
intro tomorrow. Let's continue.
Yeah, let's
Lola?
continue. Anyway, this is just for warm up for today's show. And when we return, we'll look really in depth into a situation that occurred at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport and the official statement from FAAN, you call it FAAN, on the matter. We'll also look at what seems to be ASUU gearing up for another showdown, and that is another strike. I also heard that Speed Darlington wasn't fast enough because Burna caught up with him and he was arrested for defamation of character. There's a lot to unpack and very juicy. You just need to stay with us. After the break, we'll be back to unpack.
Welcome back to the show. Our phone lines are now officially open. Call in and talk to the ladies. The number to call is 0705-572-7272. And by now, it should be on speed dial because you know more often than not, we open our phone line. So let's get straight to it. Now, the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAAN, has issued a statement after a video went viral showing a woman calling out some personnel of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, over extortion of travelers. Let's take a quick look at the video.
Oji! Where's Oji? Look at them! We are not paying 1 naira! Say no to extortion! Say no to extortion! Say no to extortion! We are not paying 1 naira! We book our flights! We come back! We are a passenger! We are a passenger! We are a passenger! We are passengers! We are not paying 1 naira! 1 naira! We are not paying! You are criminals! Criminals! You will enter blog! I will pay blog 1 million to share this video! I'm going to pay blog 1 million naira to share this video! You will enter blog! Criminal people! Criminals! Criminals! Look at them! They call themselves fans! This devil! He called himself fans! He called himself fans!
Well, the Nigerian Immigration Service was quick to release a statement saying that the officers in the video were not actually immigration officers, but they were, however, looking into the situation with other sister security agencies at the airport. They even released photographs of fully kitted immigration officers at the airport for easy identification.
Now, the FAAN statement claims that the men in the video are staff and also explained what really transpired according to them. In the statement, FAAN said the woman in the video wasn't a passenger. I apologize because the visuals on the screen are actually of the customs agents. Can we please come back to me? So, as we're saying, FAAN has now released a statement saying that the woman was actually not a passenger, but she was in fact a cargo operations person, a cargo agent conducting illegal operations at the airport, and that she refused to pay the stipulated charges and behaved badly. They also claimed that she damaged equipment in the course of her tirade. They claimed that there was no molestation whatsoever from their part, neither was there any request from their staff, but rather it was an act of blackmail. Ladies, one, I like how the Nigerian Customs Service quickly came out to say, no Beyonce. That's one. Then FAAN has come out with that statement. They're saying she wasn't in fact a passenger, because I know many of the first reactions were, if she wasn't a passenger, then who is she that she's able to get to that place? And then you see how the officials involved had started comporting themselves. And she's shouting, I'll pay blog. Just being on a blog doesn't guarantee that the matter will get resolved. But let's look at it holistically. I know we've all had travel issues. You see? Yes, we've all had issues at the airport, be it local or international. I've come back from a trip recently and I can't see. We need to do something about our airports. There's something I say. The airport is the first and last impression of a country and the kind of country you have. And when you land at Murtala International Airport, or you're taking off from there, or the airport in Abuja, wherever it may be, those impressions of Nigeria are not favorable ones that people are taking away or that people are making if they're coming to the country for the first time. Those who've come before, they're prepared. We all tend to blow it off. But unfortunately, airports are your first and last impression of a country.
There's a British guy who came in and his video made rounds where he was talking about the airport and his experience there, and everybody was saying, who are you to come and trash our country? Who are you to talk negatively about our airports? But this is the truth. This is further buttering what Tolu said. The first port of entry is that impression. You cannot unimpression it. You don't have a second time to make a first impression.
Okay. Ladies, let's hold on. We have a caller on the line. Dina is joining us from Abuja. Dina, good morning to you. Welcome to Jasiri.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
How are you doing? All right. So I'm just, I saw this video about this issue yesterday online. It is totally embarrassing. Now, for FEMA to come out and debunk, I am seeing a guy wearing the shirt of FEMA. That is automatically that staff saying that they are not aware, and the woman, okay, how did she get to that point? And talking about bad behaviors. Why are we a big joke in Nigeria? Why are we a big joke? My cousin came back with his wife, a white woman, to Nigeria, and they embarrassed them. The woman told me to my face, I will never allow my husband come back to Nigeria again. Is that what, that she will go back to America and tell her friends what we've been telling her about Nigeria? Is this what we want to be telling the world? And we're expecting investors to come here? Very big joke. This is totally not acceptable, and it's a big disgrace.
Absolutely. Dina, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You know, when I look at Nigeria and our airport situation, every time you travel, it has become a norm.
Yes.
Especially for someone like me. Let's just say that because I understand now and maybe self-recognition helps me get through some loops. But even at that, the expectation they have of someone like me is higher. So if a Blessings will just tip them 1,000 naira, someone like me, they're expecting like a 5,000 naira payout. And I'm like, why? So what I do now is that I comply. I make sure, whatever you want to search my bag, I open it, I put it on the table.
We will wait there together.
We'll wait there, I will allow them look at it, say, Auntie, no contraband. Are you not taking fish? I say, I am not. I'm going for a vacation,
so
I'm not taking anything. So if there's nothing contrary in my bag, can I get it locked up? And of course, they'll say, Auntie, we are working at, I say, and so we are, and so are we all. And at every point that I get to, even to when you get to your boarding gate and the final check, I just submit myself to checks. And I have a straight face.
Absolutely.
I say, Auntie, as they hustle, me self, they hustle.
This economy is hard for us all.
This thing that they're saying, they can never deny. I would say that it's better than before. Before, they were so blatant. But now they're a bit underhanded. Maybe because of all the bad press, and now that they know social media, people can record. So they're a bit under the table about it. Before, they will say it to your face, but now they just... Auntie, what did you bring back?
It's so crazy
they can't lie.
This fraudulent activity cuts across every sector. As in, you're going on the road and you're literally getting ready cash to give to officers that are supposed to be carrying out their duty. I'm not saying that there are no nice ones there, but it's just so sad that it has gotten to the point where sometimes when I'm driving at night, there's a measure that I deploy. Once I'm going close to some police officers, I park, I wind down, I'm like, anything for your girl. Before you ask me, then you be like, and I say, see, I be pressed. Now all of us, they work. I just, they come from and they go. It's so bad that we have now come up with different measures. And sometimes it's laughable because sometimes they'll say, oh, their mechanism is to come out and debunk some of these things and say, oh, this person is not part of what. But that's you also shining light on fraudulent activity, because if they're not part of you, how did they get the uniform? How did they arrive at that place?
How did that woman, if she's a cargo agent, if she's a cargo agent, had there no protocol?
How did she
get to that place?
That is the base of the corruption. There's protocol, but she has most likely, if they're claiming that she's a cargo agent doing illegal activities, she has most likely settled somebody.
Exactly.
And
now they're spotlighting the fraudulent aspect of it.
And then they have the gumption to do this in broad daylight, in the middle of the night, whatever time it is that you land. Because they've been doing it and they've been getting away with it. Because people are tired. There are people who just put money down. When I was on the road to Adoekiti, I just saw, it's just like an unspoken, you just drive past the police officer, you remove your hand, don't, put something in his hand and keep moving. And I'm like,
Catherine,
why
just
do we have to
hold the rest of your thought. We have another caller joining us. Good morning. Welcome to Jasiri.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Mrs. Sojuri from Lagos.
You're welcome. Go ahead. You're welcome.
Just had a few voice to what you are discussing. And first and foremost, let me just appreciate you girls. I like all of you. Especially Tululope. I didn't like her comments and everything.
Thank you.
If our local airport, especially local airport, it needs overhauling. That statement they made that fans make is right, because it's what is happening every day. Because they are ready to extort you anytime, anywhere. Even if you don't have to have effect, they don't even have effect. They will just keep coming and it needs overhauling. And I like how you even bring this out. Though all of them will deny immigration, customs, or wherever they are, they will deny it. But thank God that this thing is even coming out. How did they allow that woman to come to the airport when they are saying it's a distance or whatever? Look at the guy in that black that wore their business. So, and so can they deny that it's not their staff? So all these things that even this thing is even coming out like this, it's a new it's a good development for us to see. Though we don't have government that will even take it off, that's why it's making noise, nothing is going to happen. But it's even better for us to see. Though most of Nigerians, they are not law abiding. So, especially like what this my lady said, that when you are at the airport, I open up everything. Before they even ask me to open my bag, I open it. Our mom is not like that. I said it's like that. So before they even ask for, I said it is. So I don't carry any overweight or whatever for you to embarrass me, because I'm ready to even give it back to you. So well done, ladies. I like what you did.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Oju.
Thank you.
All right.
I like the angle she said, because Nigerians sometimes can be very disobedient and they don't abide by the law.
Where did our disobedience come from?
Whether good or bad, I always tell people that even if you want to fight this system, at least you have to fight from a position of right in the first place.
In terms of equity,
Equity. Come with clean hands first. So that even when we want to talk, now that this kind of video is out, I would expect a thorough investigation, because faces are seen. It's not, they're not ghosts.
She can give you the day and the time, which means you'll know who was on duty.
And this woman that is talking, we need you to even come on social media and identify yourself.
And
because I heard a voice, but I didn't
from
see
the beginning to
and
the
tell
end.
us your own side of it. Because now that they've said, oh, she's a custom agent, this, there are a lot of, murky areas in the middle. But we need to be able to know, to make an informed decision.
It's funny because family members can pressure her and say, my sister, let it go. We hear that, or we see that all the time.
But you won't blame
let
them,
it go. You have made leave them. They're like that.
At the end of the day, sometimes, especially when you're one person fighting a system, you tend to have a target on your back. So as a family, they would always be concerned. And then I like the fact that these days everybody is social media inclined. Like anything that is happening. That's why sometimes when I see people making videos of unnecessary things, I don't blame them, because normally you're supposed to say, oh, are you supposed to video every moment. But you don't know when anything can just be used
become
against you.
relevant.
So that's the only evidence that you have.
That's why Lolo says they do it now underhandedly because they don't know.
No, they will
add
not
them
look
to
at
social
her.
media.
They'll just be
And once
smiling.
you bring out that video, they're so
that's it.
calm.
Did you not see the guy? She put the camera in his face and
They
he
was
was
acting like it's not them.
Meanwhile,
So
it is them.
before we go to reactions, I also think it's important to know they've denied it. Let's give them that.
But I expected
Wait,
them to
they've
do
denied
that,
it. And the point I want to make is that your officers have done so many things so many times to Nigerians that your denial falls on deaf ears.
Wow.
If you talk to 100 Nigerians who have passed through the airport,
Lord.
I can bet you 90 of them have had an
the
experience.
story.
We were
150 of
going
the 100.
before after you pass through security. How many security? We've not been to. Most of us have been to international airports.
yeah.
Do you see? And the point I'm trying to make is technology is what will stop this. Because the more people there are, the more opportunities to demand
extort.
and to extort. But they're fighting technology.
because they
They're
don't want
fighting.
to do everything.
NDLEA, you'll go. You want to be heading to where you sit. NDLEA will ask you something.
Oh, la, la.
EFCC will ask you how much you're carrying. DSS is there as well. Why is it not all under one umbrella? Why is it not sufficient that, like many other international airports, once you've passed through security with your luggage and you've passed through customs and immigrant, you're on your
So the
way.
thing with Nigeria is
Where to
technology or not, as long as there's a human being manning that technology, you're in trouble. Because they will tell you the system is down, they will do...
Have you ever been in a queue and they will shunt people that seem to be prominent and they are not VIP and they are not business class?
Yeah.
You're
They
going
will
to-
push them like this and put them
You're
in
going
the...
far,
Listen,
but let me tell you,
sorry,
that e-visa on
someone.
arrival, my sisters and brothers, that thing turned into a scam. I know multiple people who tried that website. Nigeria said, let's make money and let's make it easy. Website was not working. Website was not taking dollars. It was not taking pounds. It was not taking euros. Until you flew into Nigeria, present your passport, and then if you know how long and the issues that they went through to try to get an e-visa on arrival, let's go and take some reactions very quickly. We have reactions to this because at this point, I don't think FAAN understands how far the publicity machine has gone against them. So let's quickly take some reactions. We've seen their statements, of course. This one is saying the officers and uniforms in our airports are too much. Some have become beg, while others just extort you at both departure and arrival. What did I just say? Other international airports I've been to are not like this. We should do something about this, tagging the Minister of Aviation and the President as well. Who else do we have? Why are you guys not attending to passports that were filled online? Is it a sin to follow due process in this country? I did capturing since September 5th, and so now no news or whatsoever. And then it talks, okay, we've moved. Related, how many weeks? It's not related. It's NIS right now anyway, in terms of passports. And that's been something that's, interestingly this week we heard that they've now done websites, I think, where you can capture biometrics online and your passport will be delivered to your home. I'll say how long. Someone says somebody is coming from foreign land to his or her mother's land, but meeting some rough officer at the airport. Why asking people to pay money for anything at the airport? Can I please say another pet peeve? When you're leaving, all those people outside, everybody will be asking you taxi, anti-taxi, why are they there? Why are they allowed to be so close? My family cannot be that close to pick me up.
You said outside. Okay, maybe international
they're
airport,
just
but,
at the
but
international
in the
airport.
local airport, they're almost inside the plane with you. Because once you're coming out, you're seeing them there. Like, you'll be
can't
watching.
clean up.
Taxi. That's even small. How about the one that you're asked to pay for your trolley? Why do you have to pay for
No,
your
but
trolley?
everywhere around the world now, you pay for your trolley.
No.
No, UK.
You get your
America,
money
you
back.
pay.
No.
No, I've done it that you put coins and
You're supposed to get your coin back.
Yeah, when you
You're
put it
supposed to get
when
it back.
you
It's
put-
a
when
way
you
to
drop
ensure
it,
that people return it. You're actually supposed to
return
get your
it.
money.
No.
You always been dashing their money.
Because as you put it back,
It pops.
It pops out.
You're supposed
Are
to
you kidding me?
I'm serious.
They owe me a lot.
Oh yes, yes they do. And it's for me
It's
when I
either
go
free
there.
or you get your money
You know
back.
when you travel and see that you
This
stay-
is news to me.
Now this is how it should feel to travel.
I have a
It should
feeling
be
that
a DIY
I have a
thing.
feeling that every Nigerian, when they travel, might most likely be suspected of bribery and corruption. Because you're so used to it that when you get there, you're looking for
Yeah, who do I give money to?
take.
Do you know the ease of being up in foreign airports? Honestly, as long as you can read, trust me, you do not need to ask a single soul. Just follow all
The announcements
the
and
announcement boards everywhere.
You'll be
It will show you where to go. It will, sometimes they will show you the map of the entire airport. You can navigate. You can go anywhere. You don't need to ask anybody for anything.
Festus Kiamo, if you're listening, this is a situation you need to take handle of. How much longer are our airports, which are our first and last impressions of Nigeria, continuing to give off these issues? Let's investigate. If FAAN officials didn't do anything, fine. But they need to understand that the pendulum has swung so far against them that people don't want to believe that they're innocent. And that's a problem. Let's move on to the next story.
You know that even in the local airport, sometimes I feel like their voices are intentionally muffled.
Yeah.
So that you can miss your flight and pay for something. I'm not just joking because
There are flights.
why can you not just speak with clarity?
Exactly. I just wonder why there are no English majors, mass communication students that are taking
Like,
just for their diction and
literally-
clarity.
there's somebody
You just hear
announcing-
now announcing the arrival of departing from.
Actually, do you know the funny thing? When they finish announcing, you now see one man going around and start announcing.
And that's
I've been
still
looking for-
because they know, of course, they did expect.
Wait, what about the times that they don't announce and then that ban is going? It has happened to me twice, in Abuja in particular. I almost missed my flight. They didn't announce. We
it's
were
just
listening,
one person,
and then one
yes.
person is going around. And I'm thinking to myself, how many people would have missed
flights
that
going
message?
to Owerri. Please,
Okay, we need to move on.
Let's move on. So,
Let's move on the show.
oh God, let's move on to the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU. We know that over the years, they've been known for their recurring strikes over issues relating to university funding, salaries, and working conditions. These strikes have had significant impacts on the Nigerian education system, students, and the general public. ASUU's ongoing disputes with the Nigerian government stem from the unresolved issues relating to agreements made as far back as 2009. The most recent points of contention include the renegotiation of this 2009 agreement, the demands around salaries and allowances. Now, ASUU is pushing for the implementation of the Nimi-Briggs Committee's 2021 agreement, the release of withheld salaries from the 2022 strike, and payments for staff on sabbatical or part-time appointments affected by the government's payroll system, IPPIS. They are also demanding funding for university revitalization and the payment of earned academic allowances.
And the union also reported the deaths of 84 of its members between May and August, attributing those losses to economic hardship and unpaid salaries. Now, ASUU President Professor Emmanuel Osodeke highlighted the dire situation faced by university staff, noting that the government continues to withhold salaries, implementing policies such as fuel and electricity price hikes amid ongoing financial struggles. He also criticized the government, saying, I quote, no work, no pay policies which affect salaries during strikes. And I quote now, I apologize, despite this crisis, you're holding someone's 3.5 months or more salary on the no work, no pay. People are trying to survive and everything is done now. He also called for increased funding for university education, emphasizing that to ensure sector's optimal functioning, lecturers must be adequately compensated. On September 25th, 2024, ASUU issued a 14-day ultimatum to the federal government demanding the resolution of several lingering issues. I think many of us don't fully understand when we say lingering. These are issues lingering since the 2009 agreement.
That's 15 and a half years.
2009 agreement.
It's too long.
Kilo de, kilo shele.
It's just
Why? And you can see some of the agreements with government and ASUU, all of these dating back to 1981, when they established the framework for university governance and academic freedom, and will continue. And then you'll see some of the strikes as well. And these strikes that we saw, that we have listed, are not even some of the longest strikes that ASUU has ever had. But these issues that are lingering, we're talking about issues of 2009.
Listen, when I was in university, we were out of school for, I think it was 7 to 9 months. I remember that. ASUU went on strike. My mother was a lecturer, then was a senior, was head of department. And ASUU was on strike. So when you hear ASUU, we're still talking strike. Are we still talking about strike? What is it about ASUU that is so finished for government?
Are you asking? Look, the moment we stop having those closed door meetings, that's where we'll start seeing actual change. Because now I'm not entirely blaming them, but sometimes it's like their words don't even hold water, especially recently, like when everybody has realized that it's like there's no actual change coming from this, so everybody is interested in their own pockets. Look at the last time the TUC and ASUU were actually having issues. Why? Because they agreed to go on a strike, and then before you know it, the ASUU reneged, and then had a closed door meeting.
Oh
with
no,
the government.
TUC and NLC.
And NLC, apologies. And then they had a closed door meeting, and the TUC was like, we didn't hear about this closed. So closed door meetings left, right, and center, and then they come out and say, oh, it's been postponed, or it's been resolved, or we give them another long group extension ultimatum.
We've been talking education on this table for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Is it not because of these ASUU strike that parents like us have put our children in private
private
universities?
So you're
We're
giving
paying
rise
through
to
our
that.
noses to be able to just allow your children to have a 4-year
Whatever
and
length
be
of
done.
degree,
length of
let it
time
be.
and let it just be 4 years so that they can go on their way. When these demands that have been agreed upon, honestly, I would ASUU respect government, because some of these things they're fighting for is not now. It is an agreement. It's just like signing onto a convention and saying that, oh, we decide to be part of ECOWAS. We will do everything that is stipulated in our treaty. You sign onto a treaty, and then you just go back and you renege on whatever you have agreed.
That's why
These are things that ought to have been taken care of for a long time. Some of these demands are not new, but it has been compounded over the years that it has become, you know, when you don't do something, it chokes and it's all over. And you know that every year new things will come. New dynamics will come. New context, new this, new that will keep coming. And now we keep telling them that, oh, let the lecturers, the children are getting educated education. What kind of education are they getting?
So according to Blessings has a way of looking at things. So let me step into Blessings for now, for this moment, and say perhaps this is done purposely so that the private university
can thrive.
Now my
Because they all
nephew
own it.
is in University of Lagos and is studying elect. Now his friends left there to go to private universities and they have graduated. Some are even doing their masters. He's going to 5th year because of strikes and because the mother said, let's just, University of Lagos is a name.
Yeah.
You know, let him just be there. And now the boy is asking himself, Jesus, maybe I should have just
Life is
gone there.
passing him.
Life is
I don't want to say that
passing
because
by.
it sounds harsh. But
Yes,
it
it is.
is.
Life is passing
I
him
remember when I
by.
was getting into university, they told me that, look, you're not doing 4 years, so at least 5 years.
Can you
And at the end of the day, it ended up being 5 years and a half.
There you go.
Like, we literally just planned for it. Just
And when your children are
4 years
supposed to,
plus ASUU.
yes, and when they are supposed to graduate at a certain age, and they stay in school beyond that time, they become they become unemployable by the time they are out of school. Yeah. Because if you want a new graduate to have how many years experience, and you don't want them to be a day older than 24, where would they get the experience from?
Appearances. Hold the line. We have, I believe, Prince from Port Harcourt. Peace from Port Harcourt joining us. Peace, join the show. Welcome. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Please go ahead.
Okay. I just want to make a little observation with regards to the topic online. Okay. One of you said, was the C finished on ASUU from the federal government? There are so many C finishes. One, how can a VC of a school, a high institution, be a returning officer that would falsify figures for the so-called elector, the so-called politicians over peanuts? That's a whole lot of C finishes.
Go ahead, Peace.
Go ahead.
So that's the when lecturers that used to be one of the notable people in the society, pastors, teachers, with regards to the high institution lecturers, have sold, maybe now they've sold their respect to politicians who do not even have first school living certificates. How do you want these politicians, when they get into office, to uphold whatever agreements they've had with these learned men and women? So it's very frustrating. The agreement since 2009 till now, almost 15 years, a child born after 2009 is preparing to enter the higher institution.
Yeah.
And then these lecturers are still maybe on the same salary scale or whatever. It's very disheartening. And yet these politicians that do not have any certificates, their children are abroad. When things happen, they call even the children of these lecturers to come and risk their lives over one protest or the other. It doesn't make sense. So if these lecturers can hold their ground and say, no, our no is no, our yes is yes. I think these politicians will have a rethink. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'm so afraid of that hold their grounds, because hold their grounds means years of loss. How about the government does not engage them in conversation?
But isn't that
for a
why
long time? There was a time that there was like
lecturers
a
are
9
going
months hold back.
Yeah, but lecturers are now going out on limbs and making and creating. You know, we do that a lot. We adapt. They push us and we create a hole. We create a hole and become comfortable. Lecturers are now teaching students.
Of course, in
are now
private
charging
university.
students, are now taking extra classes, are now doing everything to make sure they on their own
make
earn
ends
some
meet.
money. So they're not even depending again on us.
So so I think I saw it there, and when I was reading, the federal government has set up a 31-man panel to renegotiate. Government is a continuum. Whatever agreement is signed by one administration must continue into the next. And when Lola was talking about it, we're seeing multifaceted issues in the education sector coming to play. So what Peace said is another issue. How do you have the moral compass to demand certain things when it seems that, and it's true, it's usually university lecturers and professors that we see as returning officers. People will start to question your own integrity. ASUU is demanding public funding. The chairman also said that they've actually reduced the amount of funding they've given to public universities in how many years? Remember the guest we had from Premium Times? We're seeing this astronomical increase in private universities. But yet we're seeing this reduced funding for public universities. And remember again, we don't have enough spots.
No.
We do not have enough spots to take all the students who are trying to enter university. We're approving more private universities than we're improving the public universities. And at the end of the day, it's not a numbers game. It is a quality game.
When you said quality,
it is a quality game.
Are you not looking at the kind of students
public universities into private universities?
Do you know? Do you know
experience.
how many students have come out of universities in recent times? Have you had to sit on an interview panel?
Excuse me.
You're wondering that did you pass through the university? Because half of them is either they are buying handouts, their lecturers are making them pay for this, pay for that, and that will guarantee you that definitely you will move on to the next.
And let's
hold on. We have a caller.
The ladies are ready to enter, but we have another caller. Let's get to our caller.
No.
Hello?
Hello, good morning, author. Join the conversation.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
It is me and you people today on this your show. I am glued to my TV because of the topics, and it's very, very wonderful.
Thank you.
Who has noticed that the structure of Nigerian system is just built to pull people down, destroy lives? Because I don't see why a child. I was meant to do a course of 4 years in school. It was 5 because of ASUU strike. That's one now. You're coming out of the school. The company you're working for is asking you for experience. You still have to do NYSC. You get that all this whole thing. They will just frustrate your whole life. Let us look at it. The same politicians that are using our professors to do the whole mago and nonsense that they're doing in government are the same people that will come and teach me and you how Nigeria is structured. Lie to our face. At this time, I think I should tell the whole world that Nigeria's system of education has failed us all, and we should say it the way it is. Just destroyed lives. ASUU is going on strike all the time. All the time they're going on strike. You are setting up a 31-man committee. 31 man. What? When it can maybe call like maybe 3-5 people to just go talk to them, negotiate. 31 man. And these guys will be paid.
Heavily.
They will be paid money for sitting. They are calling for confab of youth for 30 days.
30 days.
Be in Abuja here, begging for food. We also have to pay. We don't know what we are doing. We do not know. What is all this? I'm just seeing my country go down the drain every day. I'm crying. Look at me now. I told my friend the other day, my spirit has left Nigeria. It's just my body that is roaming about. Because I am not interested anymore. What is all this? May God help also.
Thank you very
so much,
Arthur. Thank you very much.
We will work to get a representative of ASUU on Jasiri for next week. We need to run through these issues. A lot of people and parents might blame them for these strikes, but there are core issues.
Yeah.
We're talking about agreements of 2009 and reduced funding for public universities. There's a lot at play, and we need to unravel it. But ladies and gentlemen who have joined us today, we've gotten our cue.
To our cue to go. So, ladies, it's time for us to get out of here.
Hey, wait. Sorry. Burna Boy versus Speed Darlington.
We were
Hot
to take that
topics
story
on Friday.
On Friday.
Hot topics. And you want to, you can call.
We'll make sure.
Yes.
It's time for us to go on Jasiri today. I want to say thank you to all the ladies for bringing your wealth of, intelligence, everything. Thank you.
Do like an airport announcement. Bringing your wealth of, it's all right.
Yeah, bring in whatever you bring to the show.
Do
and
it like airport announcement. This is to announce.
Tomorrow we've got a great light show lineup for you. That's per usual. So see us tomorrow. So I want to say bye. Bye. We shall see you tomorrow again.
That was actually nice.
This is to announce.